Yeah. Yeah, live
Yeah,
and good to
so,
go.
okay, yeah. So, Muskan, please.
Namaste and good evening to everyone present here. I welcome you all to this wonderful session of Unlimited Football. I would like to welcome Mr. Sridhar Venkat sir, who is the Chief Executive Officer of the Akshay Patra Foundation, Pratik Suthar sir, the national convener of Think India, and all the dignitaries and attendees present here. As Sir has over 30 years of experience with leading multinationals like Philips, ABB, and WebEx Communications India. An Eisenhower Fellow 2014 for Innovation, Sridhar Sir has been working for Akshay Patra for the past 14 years. Prior to that, he was the Vice President Sales of WebEx Communications India. Sridhar sir holds a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering and a master's degree in marketing management. Sir has been inducted in the Hall of Distinguished Alumni Leaders by MIMS. He is a graduate of the Advanced Management Program from the Wharton School, University of Pennsylvania. He is a recipient of Mother Teresa Social Leadership Scholarship. His search for existential purpose in life made him quit a corporate career and join the Akshay Patra Foundation, a not-for-profit organization with a vision. No child in India shall be deprived of education because of hunger, and mission to feed 5 million children every day by 2025. Akshay Patra is the world's largest NGO-run school meal program, feeding over 1.8 million children every day in 53 locations across 13 states and union territories in India. The Global Journal of Geneva have ranked the organization 23rd among the top 100 NGOs in the world, which is a great deal. The prestigious Gandhi Peace Prize for the year 2016 was conferred upon Akshay Patra for its contribution towards socio-economic development. It has also received Nikkei 2016 for Economic and Business Innovation category. The foundation has been honored with the ICAI Gold Shield Award for Excellence in Financial Reporting 7 times in a row. It has the distinction of being the only NGO to be inducted in the ICAI Hall of Fame. Harvard Business School has done a case study on Akshay Patra. MIT has featured it in the Technology Review. The foundation has been covered by several leading media houses including Forbes, CNN, BBC, National Geographic, and Discovery Channel. We are grateful for having Sridhar sir with us. We are delighted with the presence of Pratik Suthar sir, who is the national convener of Think India. He is a student of 4th year at SVNIT pursuing chemical engineering. Currently, he is the national convener of Think India. Formerly, he had worked at the Parliament of India and at IIT Madras. Last year, he represented our country at BRICS Youth Summit held under the chairmanship of Russia. Now, I request Pratik sir to take over the session.
Thank you, Muskanji. And again, I welcome Mr. Sridhar Venkatji and all our participants. I would also like to mention that in this meeting, we have Aditya Kashyapji, who is a national co-convener of Think India, as well as I can see Mrityunjay Tripathi ji, who is a senior member of Think India. Also, we have Professor Prashant GRG from NIT Goa, and many members who are in this meeting present. I welcome all of you. And I welcome sir especially. Few words about Think India. So Think India is an pan-India organization for the students of premier institution, national institutes of the India, that is IITs, NITs, IISc, NLUs, and all such premier institutions which conducts daily such activity for the youth and to involve the students, brilliant minds of the India in national reconstruction activity. So we do many conferences, we do many programs, many summits, many service activities like what Akshay Patra is doing, not in that extent, but a little bit, and various activities like forums and all we used to do. So, without taking much time, I will directly, take this opportunity to ask few questions to sir, and then we can open this session to audience, and you all can write your questions in that chat box that we will take one by one. So, sir, very first question from my side that, how this Akshay Patra Foundation was started, and what was the vision behind the founders, and how it could reach at this height. So, yeah.
So first of all, thank you, Pratik, for this wonderful initiative called Think India. And thank you for inviting me for this program. So Akshay Patra's vision is no child in India will be deprived of education because of hunger. The whole idea is, or the vision behind this is, how we can make meal an incentive for government school children to come to school and thereby get good education. And also, while doing this, to end the vicious cycle of poverty and hunger within the same generation. They said that when you feed a child and the child gets good education, there are innumerable case studies, even in Akshay Patra, where within the same generation, the child has broken the cycle of poverty and hunger and has liberated the family out of the clutches of poverty and hunger. So this is as far as the vision goes. The visionary seed for Akshay Patra is from India's foremost spiritual master, Swami Srila Prabhupada. He gave the visionary seed of Akshay Patra. It was way back in 1970s when Swami Srila Prabhupada opened a temple in near Kolkata in a place called Mayapur. And after a big feast that was served, generally after a temple gets opened, a big feast is served. After a big feast was served, people ate sumptuously on plankton leaves. A sumptuous lunch was served. And Swami Srila Prabhupada was resting in his apartment after the feast, and he heard cries of children. And then he opened his apartment window. He saw stray dogs fighting with street children over leftover scraps of food. Tears rolled down from his eyes. And he gave a mandate to his leaders that in a 10-mile radius of the centers which he establishes, no one should go hungry, especially children. So that was the visionary seed of Akshay Patra. And 30 years later, and Swami Prabhupada created many other initiatives to do with food, like Food for Life, etc. But 30 years later, this visionary seed bore fruit in the form of a secular foundation under the chairmanship of Shri Madhu Pandit Dasa, who is the current chairman of Akshay Patra in India. He is an IITian. Shri Chanchalapati Dasa, who is the vice chairman of Akshay Patra. He is from Indian Institute of Science. And when we started in the way back in the year 2000, Mr. Mohandas Pai, the then CFO of Infosys, and few of his friends, they all got together and formed Akshay Patra Foundation. The strength of Akshay Patra is basically confluence of missionary spirit and professionalism. In fact, one of the main reasons for Akshay Patra to succeed is this confluence.
Yeah? Yes, sir. Absolutely. So, Akshay Patra being India's leading midday meal provider, not only provide food to the needs, but also providing them with nutrients and sattvic food, which we say. So, how did the foundation able to maintain its legacy of good food, and what effect does it have on children's?
So, Pratik, one of the cornerstone principles in Akshay Patra is we don't give anything which is left over to children. Every day, scratch cooking is done. I'm talking of pre-COVID time. Of course, now operations are disrupted due to COVID. Pre-COVID time, every day scratch cooking is done. Freshly sourced raw materials, vegetables, lentils, grains are used to prepare a sumptuous, healthy meal, nutritious meal. The idea is to come as closest to what a mother would cook for her child. Of course, you can't replace mother's cooking, but we want to try and come as close as possible. And the whole idea is, though we are a midday meal provider, a lot of emphasis is given to nutrition delivery in the form of calorific value, in the form of proteins, the form of making sure that child gets a recommended dairy allowance for that meal, because we give only one meal out of the 3 meals the child should eat, but it's a sumptuous meal, and till the child says enough, Akshaya Patra feeds the children, they can come for second, third helping. Some of them can even take it home as and when it's possible. So idea is to see how we can give hot, nutritious, safe meal to children, good meal to children, which is tasty, because just because these are children who are in need of food, we can't compromise on taste. So Akshaya Patra takes special emphasis on ensuring the meal is tasty. So we have product development centers in major locations across the country where research on new recipes is done. Another interesting aspect of Akshaya Patra, Pratik, is though we are present in 12 states and 2 union territories and 56 locations, every kitchen caters the local palate. So since you are based in Ahmedabad we give a Gujarati meal. So you will get dal dhokli, okay,
Yes.
sukhdi. Okay. In Orissa, we give an Orissan meal. In Karnataka, we give a Kannadiga meal. So idea is to customize it as locally as possible to the local palate and try improvising it, try bettering it. So Akshaya Patra so far has served over 3 billion meals. Early 2019, the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, came for the commemoration of the 3 billionth meal. And our endeavor is to see, to scale up this program in a focused manner, an efficient and effective manner.
Yes, sir. So yeah, that is true. So, sir, how is the transparency in terms of food quality, money, volunteers, and distribution is maintained, because it is at very large extent, and we are doing. So, how is this possible? I mean, how you are maintaining?
So let me give you a flare of the or an overview of quickly about operations. Okay, on a typical day pre-COVID time, Akshaya Patra used to handle about 400 tons of food raw material. Typically, a 1 lakh capacity kitchen where it feeds about 100,000 children every day will approximately handle about 7 tons of grains, 5 tons of lentils, few tons of dairy, okay? 5 tons of vegetables. So this is the extent of the operation, and a cook to consumption time of about 4 hours to 5 to 6 hours in some places where we go longer distance. And about 20,000 schools are covered in this span of time across the country. Now, we are a public-private partnership, Pratik. So Akshaya Patra's one of the big reasons of success, apart from the missionary spirit and professionalism, one of the big reasons of success for Akshaya Patra is partnership with the Government of India, partnership with various state governments, and partnership with various donors, whether they are corporate donors, trusts and foundations, and individuals. So let me tell you about money. Every penny which a donor gives in Akshaya Patra is traceable. Okay? So we do not accept any cash donations. We accept only donations through online or through check payments or secured instruments. In fact, Akshaya Patra, if you give a donation to Akshaya Patra, the receipt will say no cash. Okay? These are the things which we implemented about 8-9 years back, and that gave a lot of confidence to donors. We have a very strong finance management team, which has ensured financial transparency. That is also seen from the awards which Akshaya Patra has got for 7 times in a row. Gold Shield from Institute of Chartered Accountants for excellence in financial reporting. So this is actually the money goes. And as I mentioned to you, traceability of money is very good in Akshaya Patra. It's very important to give confidence. Second is when it comes to money, we have also ensured that our overhead costs are about 8%. So for every 100 rupee a donor gives, 92 goes to the program, 8% is our overhead, and we are trying to optimize it further by making our operations even more efficient and effective, making sure that we are able to do more with less. So this is as far as the money part goes. As far as quality of the meal goes, I think the missionary spirit brought in by missionaries and various team members or professionals who work under the missionaries in various locations, I think they do the magic every day. Because they're very passionate about this team in locations and our central office, very passionate about making sure good quality ingredients are sourced, and that gets converted in the form of a good meal to children, and to see the nutritious, safe, hot meal and tasty meal is given day after day, every day. So I would attribute this to the commitment, the research which our teams do in operations in ensuring hot, safety, tasty meal. Another reason that has contributed is a lot of research that goes into new product development, coming up with local recipes, coming up with more healthier recipes. And a very, very important part, Pratik, is we have a very strong quality initiative across the country. There is a chief quality officer who monitors what happens across the country. Every kitchen has about 2 quality officers, executives, who check the quality of incoming raw materials, in-process food, and also the packed food to ensure that good quality is maintained throughout the process. And we also have a daily feedback mechanism from various schools which we serve. So those are taken very seriously, and time to time we correct our processes and systems to raise the bar as we move forward. So these are the various reasons on how money is handled and how quality is taken care of in Akshaya Patra.
This is amazing, sir. Yeah, it's just amazing. So, yes, sir, my next question was about, what are the real world challenges in setting up a kitchen? Because, as a midday meal is run by other NGOs as well. I mean, few of and self-help group already in some places. So what are the, biggest challenges? Because Akshaya Patra has the, best and biggest kitchens all across the country. So what are the fundamental challenges we face?
So I will tell you a few challenges, Pratik, from an Akshaya Patra perspective. Our government of India is doing a phenomenal job of covering 110 million children. Our country runs the biggest school meal program in the world, the biggest midday meal program in the world. We should all be proud of it. Akshaya Patra just caters to 1.8% of this 110 million or 100 million children. Okay. This itself makes us the world's largest school meal program by a not-for-profit. So you can imagine the scale of operations our country does and what Akshaya Patra does. So when it comes to challenges, if you are dealing with a perishable like food, so how do you ensure that what you give to the child is tasty day after day, is hot, safe, nutritious day after day? That is one of the challenges. Second is, so as I mentioned to you, we are a public-private partnership. On an average during pre-COVID time, our cost of meal was about 15 rupees. I'm telling you ballpark numbers, out of which 9 rupees was raised by Akshaya Patra. 6 rupees came from the government of India in the form of food grains, cash subsidy from government of India, as well as various state governments with which we work. So for every child we add to the system, there is a deficit of 9 rupees, including depreciation. So if you have to add another 1 million children, there will be a 90 lakh rupees deficit every day. So ensuring that there is a consistent fundraising effort day after day to ensure that we bridge this deficit so that a hot, nutritious, safe meal is given to children is the second biggest challenge. Basically, sustainability of the program is the second biggest challenge. Third is, we are a manufacturing NGO. It's a very unique organization. A manufacturing NGO which produces 1.8 million meals every day, with a 2.2 million meal capacity in single shift. So how do we ensure that the people who work with us continue to work with the same passion, which the founders had and continue to have, when they started Akshay Patra and as they run Akshay Patra. So these are the three main challenges which I see.
Sir, I was reading the book written by Rashmi Desai. So
Rashmi
in her
Bansal.
book, in her book, mentioned with the struggles with the roti machine, roti making machine in North India. So what is the current number of rotis which the indigenous machine can roll out?
So, that thing which Rashmi is referring to is we were predominantly a South-based not-for-profit. So Akshay Patra has done many innovations thanks to the missionary leaders and professionals who work in Akshay Patra. So we were predominantly a South-based kitchen where we were cooking large amount of rice-based menu using industrial boilers, steam generated through industrial boilers. When we went to North Indian children don't eat rice every day. So how do you innovate? So that's how our organization worked with Sardar in Punjab. He had a papad making machine, which was making about 1,000 papads per hour. And our people worked with him and created a machine which can make 10,000 rotis per hour. And then we invested 30% more on that and created a machine in-house with his help, which can do 40,000 rotis per hour. And there is also a prototype, though not put to use, of a machine which can make 60,000 rotis per hour. Okay. So currently, the machines which we have, the largest capacity is 40,000 rotis per hour, and you can do variations in it. You can make fulka, slightly thicker rotis, tepla, so many things are possible. And it varies from 5,000, 10,000, even 2,000 capacity machine is there, to maximum of about 40,000 in 1 hour.
Yeah, yes, sir. So, sir, I was going through some data, and I came to know about that in last 1 year since the pandemic has attacked our country. So, 12.4, if I'm not wrong, 12.4 crores being fed since since a year. That is a mammoth. I mean, how was it possible in such a short duration when lockdown was imposed on the country in between? So, how that was done?
So Pratik, I think the credit goes to the wonderful team of Akshay Patra, okay, and its leaders, the chairman, vice chairman, and all the operational leaders in the central office. We have a fabulous team. Akshay Patra is a great place to work certified for 5 years in a row. So I would give credit to the team, number one. Another thing that really worked, Pratik, is, we are Akshay Patra is, if you look at the DNA and the construct of Akshay Patra, it is designed for food for education. When pandemic struck, schools came to a screeching halt. Akshay Patra deployed a strategy which we quickly pivoted from food for education to food for relief. So the capacity which Akshay Patra had created all these years, as I mentioned to you, 2.2 million meals in one shift was put to use. Akshay Patra is also a partner with Government of India for national disaster recovery. So during the pandemic time, with the help of the local governments, bureaucrats, police senior officials, various not-for-profits, our team, they all got together and we had a two-pronged strategy. Out of this 12.4 crores or 124 million servings, about half of it was through cooked meals from our kitchen. This went for migrant laborers, people in need, etc. Then we also came up with grocery kits for the needy. We also came up with happiness kits for children. Happiness kit had food ration for about 21 days and activity book for these children. And that was very efficiently and effectively communicated to the world by our marketing team, very able team. And our finance ensured that what our operations does, marketing promotes, and finance ensured that tight control on process and system is there when it comes to money. And we were able to do, so far we have done, as you rightly mentioned, about 12.4 crores or 124 million servings, which is a combination of cooked meal as well as dry ration.
Yes, sir. So just one tricky, one question that many, maybe some of the participants may have read from the newspapers, that many governments and maybe state governments and foreign funded organizations have previously forced to the foundation to provide more nutritious egg and other non-vegetarian food, just like India's midday meal program. How did you cope up with such pressure, and did the foundation ever thought of providing non-veg foods?
Yeah. So if you look at Akshaya Patra, Pratik, our objective is we follow the guidelines of the Ministry of Human Resource Development, under which the Akshaya Patra program comes. So the midday meal guidelines recommend particular calorific value, particular value of proteins. For example, they say 450 calories for a primary school child, 700 calories for an upper primary, 12 grams of protein, 18 grams of protein for an upper primary, 50 grams of vegetables, 75 grams of vegetables for an upper primary, and to give a tasty, nutritious meal with these ingredients. So the focus of Akshaya Patra and the government of India and the various state governments is on nutrition. And Akshaya Patra closely tracks that, and we get feedback, and we take endeavors to improve our nutrition delivery. As far as these challenges which you mentioned, as I mentioned to you, our pitch is nutrition delivery, and we will welcome suggestions to improve our nutrition further. And we have done many experiments using millets, many other substitutes, which are vegetarian substitutes, which is possible. So Akshaya Patra is firm on its ethos, like any other organization is, and we will strive to follow the guidelines given by the Government of India and the various state governments, and will strive to meet these norms.
Okay, sir. Sir, apart from India, what other initiatives are taken in the foreign countries, and to what extent are the foreigners accepting the Indian food culture? Maybe I would say, what about the starting Akshaya Patra out of India?
So Pratik, 2 years back, BBC gave Akshaya Patra BBC Global Food Champions Award. This was also the time when Akshaya Patra had started its operations in UK, in London. Currently, we have a state-of-the-art kitchen which churns out about 5,000 meals. These are, I won't say Indian meals. It's a combination of Indian and with a Western kind of a local palate, because Akshaya Patra is all about local palate, vegetarian meals, and it is being liked a lot by the students, holiday hunger beneficiaries, and people in need in London. So UK we are doing, and we plan to scale it up in UK. When Nepal tragedy happened, Akshaya Patra set up a kitchen in 10 flat days. And when the earthquake happened, and we set up a kitchen in 10 flat days and served 1.49 million meals in a period of short span of 3 months, and handed over the kitchen to the local NGO. And this was in partnership with the Tata Trust. Similarly, we also share our know-how to many other countries who are interested in learning from us. We'll be very happy to partner with them. But as of now, our focus is on India. And COVID also has put serious challenges when it comes to nutrition delivery, when it comes to learning outcomes, etc. So Akshaya Patra has further resolved itself, is very, very committed to further take initiatives to ensure that children don't suffer from classroom hunger, and the meal becomes an incentive for them to come to school. And even during the time of pandemic, we will do our best in terms of cooked meal, in terms of ration kits to these children.
Indeed, sir. Maybe, in India, Akshaya Patra became the synonyms for that nutritious food. When we are talking about nutrition, I just remember that today just we received the information that World Food Prize is given to Dr. Shakuntala. She's again Indian origin scientist, so that is also a happy moment for us.
It's it's a proud moment for us.
So maybe Akshaya Patra can even start such research institute for the food and nutrition. So do we? Just strike in my mind. So do we have any this kind of plan in future?
Yeah. So, Pratik, we have a partnership with the Indian Institute of Science for an Hunger Institute. So, some amount of research is going on there. My colleague and CEO in Akshaya Patra UK has tied up with many universities in UK. For example, we are a preferred charity partner for Oxford, Cambridge, King's, etc. But as far as and a lot of advocacy initiatives are going on there as well as in the US. But in India, we are partnered with Indian Institute of Science and many other organizations. Like we take a lot of inputs from National Institute of Nutrition, and a lot of research is going on along with IISc and Akshaya Patra team in terms of improving what we have to offer. But of course, this is in initial stages, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Something great is going to come out as we move forward.
Yeah. So, sir, fundraising activity is always a challenge for anyone. So, what kind of challenge Akshaya Patra face for this fundraising activity? And I'll join another question in that what is the role of full-time devotees in Akshaya Patra Foundation?
So, if you ask me, full-time devotees are like soul of Akshaya Patra. They have committed their lives for this great organization. They are the ones who started it.
Mm-hmm.
And they were kind enough to invite professionals like me and many of my colleagues who come from corporate backgrounds to come and work with them to empower these professionals to deliver. So that's as far as the and also missionaries head and lead various operations of Akshaya Patra. They bring tremendous commitment and loyalty to the organization. As much as professionals bring in, professionals in terms of spirit also have a lot of missionary spirit in Akshaya Patra. I have many professionals from very good backgrounds. They have the same missionary spirit as a full-time missionary may have in terms of giving their best to the organization. So it's as I mentioned at the beginning of the talk, Akshaya Patra is a unique blend or confluence of missionary spirit and professionalism, probably one of the very unique experiments in the world. So one of the main reasons for Akshaya Patra's success is this confluence. Did I answer your question? Did I miss out on the question?
So fundraising, challenges in fundraising.
Yes. Sorry about that. So when it comes to fundraising, Pratik, as I mentioned to you, fundraising for a large organization with several locations, central office, is always a interesting and a challenging task. So Akshaya Patra is a fantastic fundraising and resource mobilization organization, a brand marketing organization, communication organization, which ensures that the brand DNA and the relevant communication messages, the right communication messages, reach the prospective donors, and we update them periodically about what's happening. And this team is very, very innovative. So without being very pushy, without being unnecessarily aggressive, this team has delivered year after year fundraising. And we have corporate fundraising, we have internet-based fundraising, we have individual-based fundraising, direct marketing, social media, like so many other initiatives on the fundraising front. Just to give you an example, Akshaya Patra's retention rate from corporates is about 92%. That also explains the donor care and the relationship which the fundraising team brings to the table when it comes to various initiatives.
Sir, again, Akshaya Patra is a unique example of partnership with the government, with the corporate, with the with the people. What kind of how society is helping in this project of Akshaya Patra? What kind of responses you are getting from the governments, with the corporate companies?
I will give you one example to tell you to demonstrate how society is helping. When let's take the last 1 year example. When COVID struck, our kitchens came to a screeching halt. Over 100,000 individual donors supported us online in a short span of time. These are all from the society. In fact, Pratik, Akshaya Patra won't be what it is without the support of society.
True.
Without the support of Government of India, without the support of various state governments or the donors. We have immense gratitude for our society, and I think our country is a giving nation. Dana is there ingrained in our country.
Absolutely.
You can see the way our country responds. And I'm sure we will come out of this pandemic also. We have tremendous resilience, and I think the society has tremendously supported Akshaya Patra, whether it is media, whether it's corporates, government, bureaucrat, our own employees, volunteers, they all have come together. Otherwise, can you imagine 1.8 million meals or 124 million servings in 1 year time, 1.8 million every day pre-COVID time, 124 million so far during the COVID time? Is humanly impossible, practically impossible, right? So
Absolutely.
This is possible only because of this partnership with society, government, our own team members, the missionary spirit. The society has been very, very supportive of Akshaya Patra. Media has been very, very supportive of Akshaya Patra. And they are seeing value in a public-private partnership like ours. And that has actually immensely helped us to do what we are doing.
Thank you, sir. So, last two questions from me, and then I'll request, participants to write their questions if they have on the chat box. We can, take one by one. So the
Sure.
second last question from my side, sir. So as you also mentioned, Akshaya Patra's vision reads that no children in the India shall be deprived of education because of hunger. So definitely we are doing lots of things, for the food. So in this pandemic situation where, getting an education is also a challenge for the, students. So what kind of effort has been, done by the Akshaya Patra, particularly for the education sector? And what are your views, after this pandemic, how the education will shape up in the, coming future?
So Pratik, Akshaya Patra's focus is on nutritious midday meal delivery or nutritious food delivery. And we want to stay focused on it. So our flagship program is the midday meal program. Having said that, we have done many pilots for model schools. We have done an initiative for National Endeavor for Student Transformation. We have partnered with an organization called Just Robotics for giving robotics training to children. So these are small initiatives and pilots which we do, but our focus is on food relief and at this stage, and we will continue to remain focused on food and nutritious delivery of meals. Probably as we were focused on classroom hunger, at this stage we are focused on food relief to the needy. So Akshaya Patra will partner with other organizations who are large on the education front, where we bring in the food part of it and they bring the education part of it, and the school being the microcosm, the child gets benefited, the teachers get benefited. That's one thought we have, and we have been doing small experiments on that front. Your second question in terms of what will happen, what is our assessment in terms of learning outcomes? Many families who are pulled out by our various governments from the poverty line, I suspect have gone back into the poverty line. So I think endeavor needs to be made first to bring them out of the poverty line, while doing this, ensuring, because in the last 15 months, many of these children who come from the bottom of the pyramid have missed formal education. Not everyone is gifted with a smartphone, right?
Yes, sir.
So effort needs to be made with the help of various not-for-profits, public-private partnerships, Government of India, various state governments, in ramping up the educational or the learning outcomes of these children, which has got impacted due to this pandemic. But I'm very confident that if all of us put our head together with the able leadership which we have in various state governments and at the center, we will be able to tide over this. And India is, after all, Sone ki chidiya, right?
Yes,
and we will become Sone ki chidiya.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So somebody has asked in the chat box that what is the name of the book which I mentioned? So that is God's Own Kitchen, written by Rashmi Bansal.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
yeah,
Rashmi
so
Bansal, incidentally, is an IIM alumni, IIM Ahmedabad
yeah,
alumni, and she's a prolific writer, and she has done a wonderful job on this. So my request to all of you is please buy a copy of the book, okay? And you will really enjoy reading it. That covers the
yes.
initial journey of Akshay Patra.
Yes, sir, definitely. Sir, we have started receiving the questions. So my last question, then I'll take the question from the chat box. So the mission is to feed 5 million children by 2025. So by what extent is the mission completed by now? And we would also like to know that back plans and future plans for such a huge initiative.
So Pratik, when we started the Akshay Patra program in 2000, our next goal was, can we reach 1 million children by 2010?
Mhm,
We reached that mark 1 year before, in 2009.
mhm.
So this 5 million, after we reach 1 million, we said 5 million. 5 million is an aspirational goal. We will do our best to reach this number
Mhm.
and take steps towards this. So we have drawn certain plans, but COVID has disrupted those. Some of the
Yeah.
plans are, can we look at a hub and spoke model? Can we look
Mhm.
at partnering with other organizations which are deeper in rural areas where we take care of the food and they partner with us in reach. Third is to look at community-based kitchens, school-based kitchens. So these are all
Mhm.
these, pilots and designs are there with us. We want to experiment them and to see what works and then scale up. Because Akshay
Yeah.
Patra over the period has also realized focus is key to scaling up. So while remaining focused on meal delivery, nutritious meal delivery to children as well as needy population, we will
Mhm.
experiment on various models and scale those which show potential for scaling up and
Hmm.
thereby reaching the 5 million mark.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. And we are all, believe that we will reach that, that number. So we have received lots of, appreciative comments for the great work. So we have received one question from Chanchal Mantri, that which special measures does Akshay Patra take up for their employees and workers? Also, are there any occasions considered special by Akshay Patra, which programs Akshay Patra undertakes on these days or these festivals?
So such initiatives like special days, etc. So Akshay Patra is a very vibrant organization. We have good local leadership, and it's a very empowering organization. A lot of federated missionary spirit is there. So a lot of initiatives to motivate workers are our team members who work in our different locations are taken up by the leaders in the locations. Even in central office, we come with various programs to ensure that our teams are motivated. We have a very strong HR team across all locations as well as in central office. So these are continual initiatives. We also run programs like Kaizens. For example, we have done thousands of Kaizen thunders every year. To these Kaizens are continual improvement projects. These come from people who work in kitchens. These are small improvement initiatives, and they are rewarded then and there when they come up with a innovative idea. So a lot of elements of motivation is there. So earlier when I used to go to, of course, travel is banned now. Earlier when I used to travel to locations, when I used to ask our team members who are involved in production or driving or distribution, one question I used to ask them, why are you there with us for last 10 years or 15 years? So one common answer I used to get, यहाँ पे हमको कर्म और धर्म दोनों करने को मिलता है, which means that we tend to do our karma and dharma. That's the platform
Yes,
Akshay Patra has provided. And another thing is, many of these team members who work in locations and in our central office, they come from backgrounds where their own children have the midday meal. That is also a motivator for them to give their best when they cook, when they distribute, when they handle logistics for this. Did I answer that question? Did I miss out on any point?
There was, one part of the question that which special measures does Akshay Patra take up for their workers and employees?
Yeah. So when it comes to workers and our employees, we cover them under insurance schemes. We cover them even during COVID time. We have taken insurance because they are in one sense our frontline workers. We cover them under ESI. We cover them under all government statutes. Okay, and all the benefits that are provided statutorily are given to them. We run various welfare schemes for our team members in locations as well as in central office. They are special to us. Akshaya Patra is what it is today because of the hard work which our teams in kitchens and central office do. Our team defines what Akshaya Patra is today. It's a very people-centric organization.
So Priyanka Mathurji from Mumbai is writing that there is an organization called Vidya Mumbai. They are also doing some good, work for community development. So basically, her question is, what are the best ways for partnership if anyone wants to do with the Akshaya Patra?
So you can reach out to me or any of my colleagues in Akshaya Patra. If you go to our website, you'll get all our details. Please share with us how you want to partner, and we'll be happy to explore areas where we can partner with this institution in Mumbai. In Mumbai, we have a facility in Thana. We are also constructing one in Panvel, one in Bhiwandi. We have one in Pune, and we have plans to further increase. In Maharashtra, we are there in Nagpur. So the whole idea is to scale up sustainably wherever possible. And if there are opportunities to partner, we'll be very happy to partner, because our whole aim is to make sure that we come out of classroom hunger.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I know that there are many students in the participants who are the undergrads. So as I mentioned in the very first, that I was also an intern in the flight program of Akshaya Patra. So can you just give a brief about the flight program, how this flight internship works, and how the students can get benefit from it?
Yeah, so flight is an internship where students who are passionate about transforming our country, wanting to volunteer, they come and learn over a few weeks of program, 8 weeks or 6 weeks kind of a program, where Akshaya Patra's various HODs give inputs to them on Akshaya Patra's ways of functioning. And these interns undertake various projects and initiatives which actually benefit Akshaya Patra. So it is like learning while doing, that kind of initiative Akshaya Patra takes. And I would say it's a very successful program. And I request the students who are attending this program to enroll in the local centers wherever they are present, where Akshaya Patra is and where flight programs are being conducted. And it is a very classic platform where youngsters like you can come and learn about Akshaya Patra. Tomorrow, probably you can start another Akshaya Patra. Okay? And we'll be very happy if more and more Akshaya Patras get replicated. In fact, we want more and more people to copy Akshaya Patra, especially youngsters.
There is no IPR.
There is no IP. In fact, somebody asked me this question: why don't you have intellectual property in Akshaya Patra for all the things that our people have done? So I told them we don't want to capitalize on hunger. So anything in Akshaya Patra is freely available to learn. Please, capitalize. Please leverage this flight program.
Sure,
our Gujarat kitchens do this program very well. Some of you are from Gujarat. Please avail this facility. Yeah.
So this is the ethos of the Indian culture, that we are open for good things to teach people, and so that people can learn and can implement.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So there is a question from Dr. Manjari from Indian Institute of Public Health. Are there any health initiatives driven by Akshaya Patra?
So Dr. Manjari, Akshaya Patra is a platform, as I mentioned, for meal delivery, for ending classroom hunger, where different not-for-profits, corporates, trust and foundation, all of us can come together and focus on this. As far as health initiatives go, we have in the past partnered with organizations for iron tablets for health intervention programs, but these are all done in partnership. Akshay Patra's core program is food relief and ending classroom hunger. So if you ask me, are we looking at any major initiative on the health front? We'll be happy to partner with organizations who can leverage Akshay Patra's network to have health delivery done, health systems or health initiatives given to the needy. We'll be happy to partner. But Akshay Patra's core competency is not delivery of health initiatives.
Thank you, sir. I have received one question which I should have asked you at the very first. What is the window story of His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada at Mayapur which inspired Akshay Patra?
I shared that story of the window. When he opened the apartment window, he saw children fighting with stray dogs. That is the story. And so if you go to many of the Akshay Patra kitchens, you will see this. One very interesting thing, Pratik, and the person who asked this question, while we have a missionary base or a spiritual foundation, Akshay Patra's actions are very, very secular. In fact, there is a large madrasa. Asia's largest madrasa is in Jaipur. Akshay Patra is feeding for the last 14 years.
Amazing.
And the funder is an Irish gentleman who lives in UK. And he's funding a kitchen, funding an initiative madrasa in Jaipur. Okay, and such a noble gesture by him. And he has been funding this for many, many years now.
Yeah.
So Akshay Patra doesn't distinguish on who is, because hunger doesn't distinguish who is the beneficiary.
Exactly.
So though we have a missionary basis or missionaries are involved in Akshay Patra, we are an absolutely secular organization when it comes to our actions.
So there is one question.
We don't discriminate based on caste, creed, religion, color, anything. Very inclusive organization.
Yes, sir. Definitely. There is a question from Ajayji. Is there any plan to utilize the renewable resources in this mission?
So Akshay Patra has taken steps in these areas, but it's a long way to go. So we have biogas plants in various kitchens, which process waste and generate gas that gets fed back into the energy requirements of our kitchen. We have solar plants, solar cells in many of the kitchens, which gets, again, energy gets tapped into for our kitchen usage. And we are also trying to put in a footprint or a plan for renewable energy in Akshay Patra. And hopefully once COVID subsides, I think we'll be taking steps in that direction.
Yeah, thank you, sir. We'll take the last question. The question from Pradosh Ranjan Das from IIIT Bhubaneswar. Apart from midday meal program, is this organization emphasize for character building, moral values, education in man making?
So great question. I wish we could do that. What we have done is in the past, we have partnered with organizations which impart life skills to children whom we feed. So that covers values and many other initiatives. Another thing which I have learned over the period of time is best way to permeate values and good character is to practice it yourself. So Akshay Patra leaders as well as the seniors who work in our system, we endeavor to practice values. For example, there are 6 values in Akshay Patra: integrity, compassion, devotion, synergy, and trustworthiness. We strive our best to do it, and we hope that these will get permeated within the system and outside. Whereas when it comes to giving character building initiatives, we have partnered in the past, but not scaled them up because the current program itself takes a lot of our bandwidth. But we'll be happy to look into any of the suggestions for imparting values-based training to the children whom we feed, okay? Or also for that matter, youth. So when it comes to youth, we have a lot of volunteering opportunities, internship opportunities, where you can interact with Akshay Patra leadership team and HODs, who many of them strive to exude these values actually.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm sorry I'm taking your much time, but I have to ask one more question, which is asked by Professor Arun Kumar Verma from NIT Jaipur. That can Akshay Patra work or collaborate with Education Institute for renewable energy work like biogas or other?
So, Professor, thank you for asking this question. I didn't mention one unit economics to all of you. If we save 1 paisa on the cost of meal of Akshay Patra, 1 paisa, it is food for 4,000 children for 1 whole year without raising any fund. So, if initiatives like renewable energy can bring down our cost of meal, can help Akshay Patra take steps towards making a greener earth, right? It will definitely help Akshay Patra sustain itself. So we welcome any suggestions and any partnerships in this direction, and we'll be happy to look into this where we can work together. We can evaluate, do a pilot, and then scale it up.
Definitely. Thank you so much, sir. In fact, Think India has a good network with the researchers and scientists and professors all across such institute in India. So we would also like to contribute if we can to come up with such suggestions, with such innovations, which can be which can contribute to the Akshay Patra's process. So yeah. So,
Sure, Pratik, that'll be really helpful. Thank you so much. And you as a convener of Think India, I think you can lead this effort.
Definitely, sir. We would love to do this. Again, sir, we are really grateful to having you on us with us on Think India platform. We are really grateful, and we were looking forward to work with Think India in all possible ways in which we can do as a youth organization of the country's leading youth organization, I would say, which contains the brilliant minds. And we have received wonderful guidance and learnings from you. From the journey of Akshay Patra. So again, I am grateful to you for giving us your time and the team of Akshay Patra, which has been working since last 15 days. I would mention Apurvaji and many members which are continuous in contact with us to organize this talk. So we are really grateful and thankful to you for giving us your precious time. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pratik. Thank you, Think India team. Thanks all of you who are attending this. Let's join hands to transform India together.
Definitely, yes, sir. Thank you so much. It's really inspirational. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for attending this talk. Namaste.
Namaste.